Today I'm going to be reviewing The Bus, which is an incredibly cool game that I've been playing quite a bit of recently, and honestly been quite enjoying as well. So the goal today is to come to the conclusion whether this is the game for you, or if you should even buy it in the first place. And I'm actually going to be doing this by playing a bus route in the game myself. As you can see over here, you always start off outside of your bus, and you're going to have to walk in and jump into your seat. Alright, so we've started over here and we are driving the bus now. So I think I'll start off by explaining a little about the game in general. So the bus is a bus driving simulator, which I mean that's pretty obvious, right? But it's not just any bus driving simulator, it's actually an incredibly good one. It's very realistic. The physics are amazing if you ask me. As you can probably see by the graphics, it is built on Unreal Engine 5, so I'm immediately gonna say, yes, it requires some pretty darn good performance. But that performance is definitely worth it. I mean, this screen you have right over here, you can interact with almost all these buttons everywhere. The AI traffic, which you're gonna see driving around me for basically the entire video, is incredibly good as well. But as I did say, the game is pretty taxing on your system. You're also probably going to notice a little bit of stuttering this video in some locations. This is because my hard drive is not very fast, and so I do get that. My graphics are also not even turned up to the maximum, by the way. They can get so much better than this. Depending on what your graphics settings are, this game can genuinely look insane. Sorry for the potential stuttering, but unless you have a pretty good hard drive, that's going to probably be the reality for you as well. I should also definitely mention that the game is still in early access, meaning everything you see here is technically in an unfinished state, although the game is definitely really quite playable. There's nothing major that you're going to notice. One of the goals of the devs is also to improve the game's performance, but they haven't fully gotten around to that yet. Anyways, here's a bit of an outside view of my bus right over here, looking pretty nice if I do say so myself. Anyways, this game is available on Steam. I'm pretty sure you can get it for about 30 bucks or so, which, yeah, is on the expensive side. So next, I think I'll start off by explaining a little bit about how this game works. So how it does is basically you got a bus, and there's not really anything to unlock. You can just start off and head right into an open world mission like this one, where you choose from a massive array of different bus routes and the like. You can choose from quite a few different buses, although there aren't that many just yet. This game is set in Berlin, which is the map right over here, and one of the incredibly cool things about this game is that this map is actually a one-to-one replica. So this road right over here, I mean, it has a name. I'm pretty sure, actually you can see it because my camera's covering it. This is like a real place you can visit in real life. I mean, this building that you see right over there, I mean, that exists in real life. It is so incredibly cool that this map is that close of a replica. And so also all these bus routes that you can drive in the game do actually also exist in real life as well. Anyways, when starting up a bus route, you do also have the choice to change stuff like the weather and the like, which is pretty neat as well. As you can probably see by the graphics I currently have, the dynamic weather in this game is amazing. You can even mimic the real life weather in Berlin, which that's just insane. For the rest, this game will also actually get a career mode in the future, although that hasn't been implemented yet. I'm pretty excited. There is a little bit of the stuttering, as you can see. I'm pretty excited for what that is going to be like. There is also a functional multiplayer mode, which they didn't actually add too long ago, so that's neat as well. I will say though, as I said, the game is in early access, and the development is quite slow, so don't expect it to be a full release at all anytime soon. Anyways, yeah, once you've selected and set up your mission, as you just saw, you get put outside of your bus, then you go into your bus and you start driving it. Currently, I'm still driving to the start of my bus route, and then once I get there, we're gonna start driving around people, so that's pretty neat. Anyways, in terms of wheel compatibility and connectivity, I didn't have any issues whatsoever in this game. My wheel connected right in. I know that they will also definitely support almost all devices like this. Alright, so as I'm still driving to the start of my bus route over here, I'm probably just going to start listing some of the positive aspects of this game. Why should you buy this, and why do I like it so much? Well, starting off, the physics and really the entire game are incredibly realistic. I literally laughed out loud the first time that I played this because of how nice and smooth the physics were. I don't think it translates well when you watch it on YouTube, but driving this bus feels so nice and not at all arcadey, which is something that I personally don't like so much. It just feels incredibly good. Anyways, the fact that the game is so, well, realistic means that it's actually quite difficult as well. It's a little harder than you would think. There is a little bit of a learning curve to it. Your bus is incredibly wide, which, I mean, makes sense, right? Because they are in real life as well. And the lanes aren't unrealistically wide, so as you can see, I'm accidentally blocking a car over here. Well, he's gonna have to wait, I guess. But this added difficulty is also what, for me at least, makes the game quite a bit more enjoyable, because there isn't really anything to unlock, and so without this difficulty, I think the game would get quite boring fast. But it's not like I can just sit back and do nothing and expect to completely complete my route. They even have a Steam Workshop page, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually checked that out yet. But that is definitely a good sign for a game like this, and I definitely like to check that out in the future. Anyways, just look at the way I have to turn here and stuff like that with all this traffic driving around me. Like, this game just emulates driving a bus in real life so well. It's actually insane. This is the part I just love about the game. I feel like I've said that a few times already now, but it's just kind of hard to explain exactly. I think a good word to explain it is also unique. Excuse me? I've like never had that happen before, okay. The game is like so unique. I've never played anything like this. And sure, there's a bunch of bus simulators out there, but none is as realistic and well made and non-arcadey as this one is right over here. This game is sure to give you an experience that you've never had before, especially with these graphics as well. I hope YouTube doesn't compress the video too badly for you guys, but just look at this. With that being said though, the game does what it's made for, and it does it incredibly well, but that is kind of it. The game is slightly limited in terms of what you can do. I mean, you drive a bus around and, well, that's what the game does, man. It's so good at it, but you can't really do anything else. Another thing I definitely love is the quality of these buses, man. Just look at the way it looks inside of here. As you can see, turning this wheel causes me to look that way. I mean, look at this. These mirrors are dynamic, so I can see the side of my bus right in over here. I've got an active working mirror right over there where I can view the interior of my bus, including passengers when they get in. The camera moves so nicely. It slightly adjusts its field of view depending on if you're accelerating or braking. I can actively use mirrors like the one on the left hand side over there to view if it's safe to like change lanes or something. Which sounds pretty obvious because you do that in real life all the time, but in video games that isn't necessarily always the case. Anyways, for this entire video so far, I've actually been driving to the bus route. Apparently I didn't choose one that was real close to the depot. Anyways, if I make this turn correctly over here, anyways, I can press this button right over here, and oh look, the people just spawned in. Alright, so there's one woman, and she's going to walk into the bus. As you can see in the mirror, you can see she sat down, and now I can press this button, go ahead and close these doors, which the animation works for beautifully. Anyways, one of the other things I wanted to show you while I'm stopped is like the amount of random things you can do. Like, I can literally open this window here if I want to. Like, there's so many random things like that that just contribute to this game's quality. With that all being said, this game definitely isn't perfect, It has its quirks, things I definitely don't like about it as well. So as I said, it's pretty taxing on your system. I definitely don't have a great device I'm running this on, but it also definitely isn't bad. I think I have a 3070 and an AMD 5600X processor. As I said, it's mainly my hard drive that is being a bottleneck here. But all these people enter the bus. This is pretty cool, man. Anyways, as I think I did say, the game's AI is quite good, but their interactions with you are not. I'm gonna do it. Let me hit this guy over here, and you'll see that nothing really happens. I mean, I can push him around a little, but like it's kind of weird. If you hit anything like the curb over here too, as you can see, the bus just shakes weirdly. Depending on how bad you hit it, you just come to a complete stop and nothing happens. The game doesn't really punish you for it either, which I guess is nice, but at the same time also kind of weird. And you know, to be honest, as I said, the game is quite limited. You can't do all that much. If you're looking for a game that has basically infinite replay value, then this is definitely not it. Like, you can play this just like maybe like in the beginning I played it quite a bit, but now I'm just playing it maybe once a month or so, just because it's a cool game. But all the gameplay is kind of the same. Once you've played it, and then you've kind of seen what happens, and well, that's it. Now you can see there's also like an edge of the map here with these floating signs in the air, which is fine. No maps in games are like infinite size, but this map can actually get pretty bad. As I think I said, the map and its concept in this game are so incredibly cool and well done. Just look at how beautiful and detailed this area is. Like, these buildings are basically one of a kind. It's so incredibly cool, but this also means that the development for this is difficult, and the map is nowhere near the size I would like it to be. You see, when you're driving these bus routes that the game has implemented, you're basically good. You don't really notice much, but what you are going to notice if you look around a bit is that apart from the roads that you explicitly need to be able to drive these bus routes, barely any other roads exist. It's like very well done in the way that you don't notice it if you're just playing the game in the way it was intended. But the moment you start looking around, you're gonna notice that this map is incredibly small. Like, if this was an actual open world game where you had to just drive around yourself, you'd notice there was really barely anywhere you could go. It is unfortunate, although at the same time it does make sense, but still, I would like it to at least be quite a bit bigger. Now, for the kind of limited replayability that this game has, you're paying really quite a lot. I think it's like 30 bucks or so on Steam, which, I mean, $30 is quite a whole lot. Also, this turn is incredibly cool. This is one of the reasons why I love this game. Like, you can't just throw the bus around the turn. You have to, like, you know, seriously put some thought into how you're gonna take that and take it nicely. Now, I get you're probably paying for, you know, the quality of this map and the bus and all that, but it is definitely on the expensive side. At the same time as that, the game is also, it can get boring, it can get slow. As I said, you drive the bus and basically that's it. If you don't mind, if that's what you're after, then good, but don't expect the game to be very exciting or something. Even with the different routes you can do, it's not like they feel too different at all. With how cool I thought my first experience in this game was, though, I feel like definitely a valuable experience with this game could be just buying it on Steam, playing for an hour or so, and then refunding. Remember, you can usually refund games before 2 weeks and under like 2 hours of playtime. So, I mean, if you think you might like it, then I highly recommend that. As I said, I don't think YouTube really does this justice. This game was so cool when I first played it, and so maybe this game might do the same for you. And just remember that refunding is, of course, an option. Also, I think I forgot to mention, but the game actually has a whole built-in radio station, which is an incredibly fun fact. and just have it turned off right now for obvious copyright purposes. Alright, so forgive me for using my phone while driving, but I've just got a bit of a checklist of quick points that I want to mention. Qualities of this game that I want to make sure that I've ticked off. Realism of this game, insane. Bus features, incredibly good. The traffic is also really just top notch, I'm not even gonna lie. Apart from the collision, then, that is. Weather and time effects in this game are really, really good. Oh my god, is that a... I've never seen one of those things driving around before. That's pretty sick. Controller and wheel support is good. I think they're also going to be adding VR in the future, although it definitely isn't something yet. Keyboard, mouse usability is high. The only thing I will say is that sometimes you have to set binds specific per bus. So sometimes you have to set keybinds multiple times, which can get a little infuriating, but that's, I mean, gonna have to deal with that, just, I guess. Menus and interface are pretty good, pretty cool. Oh my god, this is the negative effects of using your phone while driving, guys. Don't do it. The realism and feel of this map is incredibly good. The details are so nice. Apart from, of course, the size, I just thought I'd show you guys here. As you can see, these main roads you're driving across and the bus routes exist, but everything else is just a dead end. Like, this is... It's not really okay, to be honest. Is this lady gonna get in? I guess not. Okay, so the level of detail is incredibly high. Visual quality in this game is good, yeah, but it's quite taxing too. Sound in this game are really nice. They feel pretty realistic and they don't at all get annoying or something. Ambience is really good as well. Not sure how well you can hear it in this YouTube video, but there's even like bird sounds and stuff sometimes. You can hear people talking as well, actually. I didn't even mention that. You can like hear people, when there's enough people in your bus, you can sometimes hear them having like background conversations and the like. People even sometimes say good morning to you when they get on the bus. So progression, this game really has zero progression. There's nothing to unlock. As I said, they don't have a career mode yet, but they are actually planning on implementing one. Fleet management then also isn't really a thing yet. And in terms of customization, you can customize the bus and its parts a little bit, but really not at all much. As I said, early access, slow development, which, yeah, that's kind of mid. Modding exists, which honestly is surprising and a good sign for a game like this, but at the same time, the entry level is kind of low and there isn't really that much content at all. Content for the price isn't really there, just because of how like expensive the game is. I think it will get better as the game progresses a little in terms of development, but I think it's always just gonna stay an expensive game. At the same time, replayability isn't really there. Competition though, in terms of other games like it, as I said, there's really nothing. In terms of audience fit, I would say this isn't really good for casual players looking for an arcadey experience where they get to drive around passengers with the bus. This is pretty hardcore, to be honest. The learning curve is minimal if you're into stuff like this, but I do think there definitely is one. I felt like I'd seen everything there was to see after like 20 hours of playing this game. You've seen everything twice. But then again, that little bit of difficulty that this game does have, and the fact that the physics are so nice compared to other games, that does make you just sometimes wake up on a day and makes you want to play this. Anyways, now for the final verdict. Should you get this game? Well, if you liked what you saw in this video, and this game and the way it functions look like it would be fun to you, then I do actually recommend this game. It is a very cool experience. As I did also say earlier, I think buying this game and potentially refunding it if you don't like it can be a valuable experience. Although I will say this game is kind of niche, it can be slow, and I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely not meant for everyone. But that doesn't mean that it's not for you. Because not gonna lie, I've had quite a lot of fun playing this game. And I, for one, definitely don't regret the purchase. With that being said, and as we approach the end of the bus route over here, I think I'm gonna end the video off. Yeah, okay, so looks like this stop right up here is going to be the very last one. If you think I missed something in this video, if you have any questions at all, do of course feel free to leave those down in the comments below. But yeah, right now, thank you ever so much for watching, and I do of course hope to see you again in the next one. Bye bye.